Alright folks, welcome back to Starladder Season 7 Day 20 here on Dota Radio. Thank you so much for joining us folks. Zyori slated to solo cast today. We did take a short day and we have Alliance versus Power Rangers for you guys. This should be a very interesting matchup between these two great teams. Alliance, of course, the team that really needs no introduction, completely undefeated right now in Starladder. I'm going to refresh my page to make sure I'm up to date here. They are currently 5-0. That's right, 5 wins and 0 losses. Now Team Power Rangers, of course, the Belarus champions, we have seen quite a bit out of them, and one of the more interesting things about Power Rangers is how well their record's been. Right now, they are 6-2, and they have played 8 matches, so they are doing pretty well. They're on track to be on par with Alliance, at least, if they keep on winning. So if Power Rangers could do it here, I think it would be considered a pretty big upset, but exciting nonetheless. Of course, those 2 wins that Power Rangers dropped to start things off, I always want to reiterate that unfortunately they were due to connection issues. They had players disconnect in both of those games, unable to reconnect, and they ultimately had to forfeit for all intents and purposes here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this draft a little bit. Alliance going to go ahead and take Lifestealer as well as the Outworld Devourer out of the pool. Power Rangers, they started off with a first ban on the Nature's Prophet and then followed up with the last ban, or a third ban, pardon me, on that Naga Sire now. So that opened up for a couple of scary heroes still on the board. Wisp going to be first picked by Power Rangers. Abaddon and Shen going to be grabbed by Alliance, and then Power Rangers with sort of the strange pick here, going to grab a Bounty Hunter second. Now, of course, I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. Oh my gosh, Bat Rider is still left in the pool, and I'm surprised that neither side picked him up. Now, we know Alliance tends to grab Chen in one of those first 2 picks right there, and perhaps they're just not ready for a Bat Rider in this match. For Bat Rider, you have to build your team kind of around him a little bit. He either has to be in the jungle, which is a very greedy build, or you put him in that mid lane, and Alliance really likes to save that mid lane pick for the last pick. They really like to save what S4 is going to do as much of a surprise as possible so it can't get countered. They really ban and pick accordingly to that last mid-hero pick. So not surprised to see Alliance grab Abaddon and Chen. I'm actually more surprised to see Power Rangers pass up on the Bat Rider. Now perhaps some of that is because they grabbed the Wisp, and Wisp is a great hero, but again, you kind of need to build the team around that a little bit. I'm not saying Wisp can't work with Bat Rider, but we don't really see it all that often. So Power Rangers going to go ahead and grab Bounty Hunter here. An interesting off-lane pick, not going to reveal much of their strategy. I'm not complaining. I love Bounty Hunter. I think he's a great pickup. I think he changes the state of the game always if he can snowball a little bit. He's hard to shut down in that off lane. You either need to buy some sentries to try and make his life a little bit more difficult, or you just have to say, alright, Bounty Hunter is going to get some levels. I can't box him out of the lane like I can with other off-laners, like that Darkseer, for example, sometimes that Nature's Prophet as well. Now this next round of bans going to come through here. Power Rangers going to go ahead and take some carries off the field. They're going to take out the dreaded Lone Druid, as well as the Anti-Mage to understandable bans right there. Admiral Bulldog's Lone Druid and Anti-Mage's, or pardon me, Loda's Anti-Mage there. Alliance going to go ahead and take Storm Spirit off the field, as well as the Gyrocopter. Now, there it is. Alliance with that big third pick. They're going to take the Bat Rider to go with the Chen and the Abaddon. So, Bat Rider definitely works well into their roster, but they rolled the dice, and Power Rangers didn't grab him. So now Alliance with a very nice roster to start things off here. And, I mean, Ake's Chen, that is the Chen player of the world. So, that is a particularly scary pick in their hands. Now Power Rangers going to go ahead and third pick Weaver to go with Bounty Hunter and Wisp, and no complaints there either. Love the versatility coming out from Power Rangers. Still a lot of combos with that Wisp, and they're going to save it to the last, towards the end here. And interestingly enough, Alliance didn't ban out any of those scary heroes. Probably would have seen a lot of other teams ban out the Chaos Knight instead of the Gyrocopter there. Perhaps even the Tiny as well, 2 of those go-to heroes that pair so nicely with the Wisp. So that has to make us wonder a little bit, what does Power Rangers have in store? Wisp generally doesn't really pair with the Weaver too well, and that's one of the great things about the Weaver. Weaver going to be able to work in that off lane, could even go mid as well, depending on how they want to lane that Bounty Hunter, or they could work a tri-lane in as well. So still a lot of options here for Power Rangers, but they're going to have to do something with that Wisp, and of course Alliance knows that here at this point in the draft. So what is Alliance going to do? Well, it kind of depends on how they want to set up these lanes as well. I reckon Bat Rider's probably going to have to go mid here for Alliance, because they do have Chen in the jungle. We have seen situations where you can share the jungle. A Chen and a Bat Rider could certainly do that, but it's slow going. So I'm guessing Alliance is going to want to do a tri-lane here, something to work with that Abaddon. They're going to need a carry of sorts. Lifestealer, they were his first ban. There you go. I'm trying to think of hard carries that Loda's going to play here. Alchemist still an option on the board as well. Loda has been known to play Alchemist a time or two. Certainly a great farming hero for his ricing skills, no other way to put it. We saw some of the matches earlier on here in Starladder Season 7 when Loda was just farming out of control. That first anti-mage match was just incredible. Absolute free farm, almost perfect last hitting. And there it is, Alchemist going to be the 4th pick there for Alliance to go with their Batrider, Chen, and Abaddon. So already shaping up to be a pretty solid roster there, and looks like Abaddon, Chen, and Alchemist will do that trial. Now they're just going to need an offlaner. Darkseer is still in the pool here as well. He has not been banned out yet. We'll see if Power Rangers takes him off the field. That's where my mind would be going right now if I was on the side of Team Power Rangers. So now it's going to go to Power Rangers for their 4th pick. They've got plenty of time in the reserve pool there. They do have Weaver, Bounty Hunter, and EO, of course, the Mighty Wisp right now. Again, they're going to need something to pair with that Wisp. Still a couple options on the board. I got to think CK is going to be one tempting pick right here because he just pairs so well with the Wisp. I saw some statistic on a stream the other day that CK paired with Wisp in competitive Dota has something above a 60% win rate, 64, 65%. CK without the Wisp has something like a 40% win rate. So that combo is just so powerful. With the Reality Rift, it makes it so easy for Wisp to get in there, land a tether stun, and that's one of the reasons that combo is so great. Also with the Chaos Bolt having an additional stun to follow up, then the built-in crit from CK. I mean, he is a hard carry once he gets that bit of farm, and being able to tether with the Wisp, he gets all that additional mobility, that global presence, he sets up ganks. It's just a truly great combo. Tiny, again, same story, different chapter. He's got that extra stun and can put out a lot of damage as well. Now, Power Rangers going to take an interesting pick, and I know if my co-caster were here, he'd be saying a boring pick. Blah. Treant Protector going to be the 4th grab here to go with Weaver, Bounty Hunter, and Wisp. Now, it's an interesting pick, and I kind of like it here. He's a nice staple hero, and I'm kind of curious how they're going to lane this. Probably going to be the Treant and Wisp, but this is looking like a Weaver mid kind of matchup here, and it looks like Alliance thinking that Power Rangers are just going to pair EO with that Weaver right now, because they're going to go ahead and final ban Queen of Pain, so they're obviously thinking Power Rangers is going to want to pick up a mid hero here, and their tri-lane will be the Wisp, Treant, and Weaver. I'm not so sure about that, because Wisp and Weaver really don't pair as well together. Weaver does just fine on his own. He doesn't need the babysitting of the Wisp with that Shikuchi, pardon me. He's plenty mobile. He has plenty survivability with that time lapse. And we'll see. Now, Power Rangers, they are going to go ahead and final ban the Ishkoffel there. Darkseer going to be taken off the board. I think that makes a lot of sense. Alliance obviously going to need an off-laner here. And, I mean, they could potentially take a mid lane if they want to, again, share the jungle between Chen and Batrider and put Ishkoffel in the mid. Certainly could do that as a little bit of a curveball lane placement there. Not the most common of strategies, but something they certainly could pull off nonetheless. Now we're going to go into the final picks. We'll see what Alliance wants to do to round off their roster. They're going to need an off-laner here. And, all right, they're going to take Timbersaw. A nice, smart pick here. And there it is. Power Rangers going to take Chaos Knight as their 5th and final pick of the match. That's going to make it Chaos Knight, Treant Protector, Weaver, Bounty Hunter, and Wisp for Power Rangers there on the Radiant side. And over on our Dire side, of course, Team Alliance going to have Timbersaw, Alchemist, Batrider, Chen, and Abaddon. So this is interesting. Are they going to put the Batrider and the Chen in the jungle and just throw Timbersaw mid and sack that off lane? Or are they going to go for an off lane Timbersaw here and put Batrider in the mid? It's an interesting conundrum because Timbersaw, I think, is a slightly better mid option, and of course S4 is the mid player for Alliance, so that makes us think that Timbersaw probably will be that mid hero. And you know, sharing the jungle isn't that bad. It's just very greedy. If Power Rangers try to move in and make their life a little bit more difficult, it could really slow down that Batrider, and we've certainly seen situations where Batrider, when he doesn't get that great farm early on in a match, it can be rough. I mean, the quicker he gets that blink, the easier it is for him to try and snowball a little bit and get out of control to set up those early kills. There's that interesting timing that he can hit where right when he hits that blink, right around the time he hits level 6 from being in the jungle, he can just pick up a kill in the mid lane because they don't know that he's level 6 yet because he hasn't showed himself, and of course he has a shiny new blink. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this match here and see how the lanes are going to settle down. Looks like Power Rangers going to have a bit of a plan here as they are going to settle down. Right now, headed off to the top lane, we are going to have Cheshire Cat. I do know who that is now, missing all those vowels, but that is indeed Cheshire Cat going to be in the top lane here on the solo Bounty Hunter for Power Rangers here on our Radiant side. Already in the bottom lane, going to be J4 playing the Treant Protector. Looks like he will be part of a tri-lane. The Wisp is going to be played by one of the supports here. He looks like he will be headed to that bottom lane, perhaps. I think that's where they're going to be going down. Moon going to be the one playing on the Chaos Knight. Right now, they're all grouped up in the mid lane alongside the Weaver. ZXC here in the mid. So this is sort of interesting. I still don't know exactly how they're going to lane this. It is possible to do a duo mid here. They could put Wisp and Chaos Knight mid if they really want to try and shut down whoever goes solo there. Maybe perhaps if they think it's a Bat Rider, they really just want to shut down his farm. That could backfire a little bit though. If Timbersaw ends up going mid, that could be very difficult. We've seen how much damage a Timbersaw can put out. Of course, he does pure damage across the board. He's so mobile, that Timber Chain. I think even the crazy combo of Chaos Knight and Wisp going to have trouble trying to shut down even the solo pressure of that Timbersaw. So we're going to go into our first pause here. Looks like it's going to resume very quickly. Right now, 4 members of Alliance are grouped up in the Radiant Jungle. Excuse me, actually all 5 members going to be in the Radiant Jungle here. And are they going to get engaged on S4? Going to get scouted out. He's the one on the Timbersaw right now. ZXC on the Weaver going to pull ahead, and they're going to try and perhaps get a few auto attacks off. Not going to be able to make it happen though. Living Armor going to be used. Shikuchi going to be used as well. And they're going to get a Tether Stun onto the Timbersaw. This could be a little bit bad for S4. He's going to go down to about half health here. I don't know if they're going to have the damage to finish him off. He's going to go ahead and pick up the reactive armor. He's going to get an Aphotic Shield. He's going to grab a Tango, and he will be just fine. Right now, Admiral Bulldog, he's hiding in the trees right outside that creep spawn for the pole camp. And he's kind of in enemy territory right now, to say the least. They did get a couple of wards down to block the pull, and 2 observer wards actually going down. So it's going to be double blocked, and that will make things a little bit more difficult for Power Rangers down here in the bottom lane. Admiral Bulldog still playing with fire as he's hiding in the trees. So down bottom, looks like it's going to be a 1-2-2 coming out from Power Rangers. Not something we see too often in our current meta here. ZXC going to be in the bottom on that Weaver. He'll be supported by J4, who's going to be in the jungle. They'll be up against, I guess, I don't want to call this a Suicide Bat Rider. Looks like he's going to clear this first creep wave. Very crafty play from Admiral Bulldog. He's going to use Firefly, get these creeps down to about half health, kite them into basically the Dire Ancients here, and we'll be able to get this first wave of creeps basically for free. Looks like he may intercept his own creep wave. Oh, I love this play from Admiral Bulldog right here. He's going to miss the intercept with his creep wave, but he will bring him into the tower, so he's at least going to be able to get experience and kills to start things off here. Very, very nicely done. But it is indeed going to be an off-lane Bat Rider for now. I'm sure Admiral Bulldog will rotate into the jungle as he's going to continue to pick up more and more farm. And I think he's going to struggle against Weaver here in the long lane, given the tree will be in the jungle. But at the same time, Treant Protector, very, very passive. He's not going to have much in the way of setting up ganks. Of course, he does have the Leech Seed, something to keep in mind, but they do have some ward coverage down. So Admiral Bulldog, he's going to use some tangos, and he's just going to head back down to this bottom lane. Now, let's introduce the rest of the Alliance roster here before we get too far ahead of ourselves. In the mid lane, it is going to be S4 playing on that Timbersaw, so that means up in the top lane, we've got this tri-lane, and they're going to engage on the Bounty Hunter. It's Alchemist, Abaddon, and Shen. Shen going to be played by the Ake here. Alchemist going to be played by Loda, and EGM, of course, going to be played by Abaddon here to start us off. Now, it looks like Cheshire Cat going to be able to survive the onslaught up here in the top lane. They do have a couple of sentries down, and alright, Cheshire Cat can have a sentry of his own. He's going to counter both of them right here. It looks like he's going to be able to get the first sentry that's down closer to the river. It looks like they don't have vision of the sentry. Oh, he puts it behind the trees. Beautiful, and he does have vision. He's going to be able to move around, and wow, he's going to get 2 sentries for the cost of 1 up here. Loda now going to figure it out. He's going to start chopping away, but Cheshire Cat going to be able to finish his off first, and that's going to go way in his advantage. Beautiful for him up here in the top lane. He's off to a great start as well. He's 5-1, able to stay in lane against Loda, who is 9-4 right now, and actually Bounty Hunter contesting some of that farm, so Loda not going to be getting the free farm that he's looking for here at level 3. Loda going to go ahead and pick up the level 2 Grievel's Greed, so it looks like he will be farming heavy, hard carry style on this Alchemist, probably going to be pulling up that gold for an early hand of Midas. Now let's check out this mid lane here. It is kind of a duo main. Wisp is moving into the jungle a little bit, giving Chaos Knight some of that solo experience. S4 on that Timbersaw is level 3 at the moment. Farm sitting at, where are you there, buddy? He is 8-2. Right now the Chaos Knight is 9-1, and the Wisp is actually 8-1 as well. So they've been sharing last hits here in the mid lane. Sharing is caring, and they're doing a pretty good job shutting down S4. Right now they've denied about half the farm that he would have, I think, in a solo lane, so they're doing pretty well. S4 still unable to pick up a kill, probably a little bit disappointed with himself there, but he is forced to go semi-defensive. Does have 2 points in reactive armor, 1 in Whirling Death, none in the Timber Chain. So, S4 going to get engaged on here. Wisp going to come in, going to connect with the Spirits, and S4 going to get down to about half health, and he's going to be forced back. So enough burst damage between Chaos Knight if he uses the Reality Rift as well as the Chaos Bolt, and then the Tether as well as all the Spirits. That's enough burst damage to really mitigate some of the effectiveness of that Living Armor, of course. A lot of that magic damage coming out as well. So right now, S4 really struggling. I may have underestimated this duo lane of Wisp Chaos Knight here against Timbersaw. in the mid. Now, down in the bottom lane, let's take a look at Weaver. How's he farming? Actually leading the way in last hits right now. He is 16-5. That is going to be ZXC again. Admiral Bulldog actually doing just fine down here. So the latter of my analysis coming true, where Tree and Protector just not going to have much gank potential. So Admiral Bulldog going to be having a fine time. He's sitting 15-3 right now, and he is level 4, so getting that valuable experience. Did go for the early Tranquil Boots. ZXC actually out of regen now, but Living Armor going to keep ticking him up. So I do actually like this team from Power Rangers right now. They have a lot of global presence here, and I think that's the mix of the Tree and Protector with the Wisp Chaos Knight is going to allow them to be a little bit more aggressive, especially right around that level 6, level 7 mark, when normally they'd have the opportunity to be aggressive, but they're going to be capped out by the amount of damage they can receive and how much healing they can do. And I think the Living Armor going to change the state of that game a little bit. Now in the bottom lane, looks like Admiral Bulldog could be in a little trouble. ZXC going to go ahead and engage with the Shikuchi. EO going to come in. He's going to use the tether, and they're going to connect with the with the Bat Rider there. Bat Rider going to fall. He will be able to grab a counter kill on the Weaver. ZXC actually standing in that fire a bit longer than he should have, and it will cost him his life. So it is going to be a 1-for-1, but Power Rangers off to one hell of a start here. They do grab the first blood bonus gold, so of course a cost-effective exchange for them, no doubt about it. So that's going to tie it up 1-1 here as we're about to approach the 5-minute mark. Now I got to comment on this off lane now as Bounty Hunter takes over as the leading farmer in this match in the long lane for the Radiant side. That is going to be Cheshire Cat on the Bounty Hunter. Of course, he is 23-5, so he's actually out farming Loda now, who is 20-5 on that Alchemist. So this is great news. Usually what you would expect in a tri-lane situation like this, a Bounty Hunter to get pressured, and in the mid lane, pardon me, I did miss that one, as Timbersaw gets taken out between the Chaos Knight and Wisp combo. Chaos Knight now level 6, and not going to be enough. Timbersaw not going to be able to handle it. He is only level 5. He went level 3 Whirling Death. No points in that Timber Chain. You got to get at least 1 point in that Timber Chain. We see a lot of Timbersaws going 1-1-1 as that opening build upon hitting level 3, just because it gives you so much mobility. Very well may have been able to survive. S4 going to get poured in. He's going to get engaged on again. This could be very bad for him here in the mid. S4 taking a lot of damage. Are they going to be able to grab another kill on the mid hero from Alliance? He's getting very low. Moon going to have a Chaos Bolt coming up. He's going to throw it. S4 going to try and regenerate a little bit. Reality Rift going to be used, and that's going to be the end of it. That's going to make it 4-1 here while all that happened in the top lane. Oh my god, Bounty Hunter was able to finish off Loda. He takes out the Alchemist in a solo kill. Now Bounty Hunter going to be level 7. Top lane and mid lane have now been won for Power Rangers, and bottom is a break even for all things considered. Right now Admiral Bulldog 28-6 against the 26-6 Weaver, so they're getting even farm, but holy Toledo in that off lane. We'll see Bounty Hunter now pull ahead. He is level 7. What level is Loda on that Alchemist? He's only level 5. He's been sharing experience with the Abaddon here a little bit. We do see EGM is level 4. Chen has not had a very active time so far in this match. I don't know what Ake's been doing. We haven't been keeping tabs on him too much, but we haven't seen him poke out of the jungle too much. He's only level 3, so it seems he's been having a little bit of a tough time as well, and this Bounty Hunter is now out of control. It's going to be open season. EGM going to get engaged on now. He's only level 4 on that Abaddon. Going to use the Aphotic Shield. Not going to have the borrowed time. Looks like Cheshire Cat going to be able to just dive the tower. He's going to have a shuriken. That's going to be the end of it. That's going to be another track kill. 5-2 here as Alliance continue to pull ahead in this match. Oh god, in the mid lane. I'm sorry, man. We're missing kills all over the place as Moon does get taken out in the mid lane. S4 will be able to grab a counter kill, but there's going to be a port to the top lane. They're going to engage on Loda. It's going to be the Wisp, the Chaos Knight, and the Bounty Hunter. It's going to be a gangbang. Loda going to fall again. Loda off to a terrible start in this match. He's going to be 0-2-0 as he gets taken out again here. Chaos Knight now 3-1-0. They're going to go back to the mid lane thanks to the Wisp ulti, and Moon. He's starting to get out of control. Looking at that net worth chart, he's actually not the highest on the chart right here, not by a long shot. Bounty Hunter and Weaver are way ahead of him. Bounty Hunter leading the way in net worth right now at 3.1k, and actually Weaver number 2 on the chart at 2.6k. So even though Loda is 0-2-0, he is at 2.4k on the net worth chart, as is Bat Rider, and that's a hop and a skip above the Chaos Knight, who is 3-1, who is at 1.8k. So that goes to show you, sitting in the lane and farming a little bit more valuable than picking up those kills, but the great thing is the experience. Now Chaos Knight going to be level 7 and Bounty Hunter level 8. Whoa, look at that experience advantage right now. The top 4 on that hero level chart all going to be in favor of Power Rangers on our Radiant side. Let's take a look at these graphs here and see where we stand. Power Rangers going to be leading by somewhere about 1,200 gold now. Still no towers down, but the experience advantage is really where it's at right now. 3,000 experience ahead here at the 8-minute mark for Team Power Rangers. So let's see. Loda going to come back to the lane here. He's going to keep farming. Bounty Hunter, he's level 8 now. He's going to get tethered. Loda only level 6. He's going to take a lot of damage to start this off. Loda going to fall again. He's got the Midas. He's on the Grey Boots and the Stout Shield right now, but it's not going to be enough. Nothing he can do. Admiral Bulldog going to pour it in. Now Bounty Hunter, he's going to get dusted. They do have a lasso up. He's going to get Sticky Napalm pulled into the fire. He may be in a little bit of trouble here. Going to get a track up there onto the Bat Rider. He's going to run away. The smoke is going to be off, and Bounty Hunter going to survive. They don't have the damage to finish him off. All the while, though, we'll see Wisp in a little bit of trouble. S4 trying to dive him. He's going to turn it around. We'll be able to finish him off with Chakram. J4 going to come in. It's J4 versus S4 here near the Radiant Secret Shop. Support going to come his way as well as the Wisp buys back. He's going to port back in. S4 now going to reinitiate. Whirling Death going to do a lot of damage. J4 coming in. He's only level 4. Tether going to connect. Wisp barely staying alive, but they do finish off the Timbersaw. He gets away with 17 hit points to spare. That's going to make it now 8-3 here at the 9-minute mark in favor of Team Power Rangers. All the while, Weaver just farming away down to the bottom lane. ZXC now 42-10. He's getting out of control in the way of farm. Loda going to port down to the bottom lane to try and find an opportunity to make some recovery farm, but still, he's got to be regretting that Hand of Midas choice right now here at the 9-minute mark. It gives him no utility, and Power Rangers, now that they've got that experience advantage, the EO ulti proving so effective, they have so much more mobility about the map, and Alliance just has no way to deal with it. Still, Chen not having a big impact on this game. Ake only level 5, not even level 6 yet. If he had that Hand of God, they may have been able to turn things around in some of these team fights, but he has just been struggling. I don't know what's been slowing him down so much. One of those matches where I want to go back to the replay and see what Chen's been doing. All he has are gray boots and the Ring of Protection right now, not even a Basilius. He is going to pick up a Dark Troll Summoner as well as a Centaur Conqueror to try and make something happen in the mid lane. Not going to find it though, and he is going to back up. Right now it is just a solo Moon, but he is playing very passively, as he well should be. So still going to hold steady at 8-3 here. The 10-minute mark just about to pass by. Both sides going to start making movements towards the rune. We'll see Power Rangers converge on the top rune. S4 going to step forward a little bit as well. He's going to get caught here. Reality Rift, long-range tether. S4 going to trouble. He's going to go down. Now Emerald Bulldog going to come in. That's going to be a lasso. He's going to use the Firefly as well, and he's not going to have the damage to finish off the kill. The tether heal from Wisp just going to be too much. Chaos Knight is level 9. He's going to be just fine. He's going to be taking a lot of damage now. Chen going to come in. He's going to disable him with the Ensnare. The Centaur going to come in with the stun as well. Moon low, but I think he may make it out. The living armor proving so effective here, and he is going to survive. All the while, Bounty Hunter going to be able to move bottom. He's going to grab a double damage rune, so they may find a way to reinitiate here, but oh no. Right now, Bounty Hunter 3-0-2, the Chaos Knight 3-1-1, and the Wisp 2-1-5, leading the way on the KDA chart. S4 struggling so much in that mid lane. He is 2-4 right now. That Timbersaw proving to not be so effective here. I think a lot of that goes back to the later points in Timber Chain. You need at least 1 point in it. It's not a 1-point wonder, but that first point so valuable. A 4-second cooldown even at level 1. You need that mobility to be able to survive that early pressure that does come your way. Reactive armor makes you strong, but in a 2v1 situation, not strong enough. Now in the top lane, we'll see Cheshire Cat with a double damage, going to initiate on S4. The Chaos Knight and Wisp combo going to come in. That'll be the end of Timbersaw. Now EGM going to be left alive. He is level 6, going to be able to chase Wisp into the trees. Reality Rift going to be used to try and buy some time. Photic Shield going to come. He's going to take some damage. That'll be the end of it. He's going to get stunned by Moon. Down he goes. So that does make it a 2-for-1 in the top lane, and a great exchange in favor of Power Rangers, now leading 11-4 here as we have passed that 11-minute mark. They do trade the Wisp for the Timbersaw and the Abaddon in the top lane there. It seems to me like Alliance just not playing as if there's a Wisp on the field. You have to recognize whenever there's a Wisp and a Chaos Knight, if you get engaged on, if you're caught too far forward, they could be popping in anytime they have eyes on you. You got to play just like the same way if there's a Nature's Prophet that's farmed, a Spirit Breaker, anyone with those huge mobility ultimates or abilities that could hop on you at any time, just caught way too far forward right there. S4 now in big trouble. He's 2-5-1. Timbersaw. Let's take a look at the items here. We are going to move into a pause at the 11-minute mark. It looks like Loda is going to be disconnected. So let's go ahead and take a look at the items here just to get a feel for where all this gold is going on both sides. Wisp already going to be able to grab those early regen items, going to have gray boots, the Urn of Shadows, as well as the bottle to go with some wards, as well as a Smoke of Deceit. A lot of regen coming his way, and with a few charges on that urn, that's been helping them in these engages. No doubt healing through that tether. Bounty Hunter, of course, he's had a great start here. He's on the Phase Boots, Poor Man Shield, Orb of Venom, the Magic Stick, as well as the bottle, so he's got a nice array of items. Chaos Knight, again, he's level 10, off to a great start. Doesn't have too many amazing items right now. Going to have the Power Treads complete, does have 600 gold in the bank, and just going to have Bracers, Stout Shield, Magic Wand. Going to be working towards a Drum of Endurance, no doubt. And Weaver, the one, though, he's the one that's been farming away in this bottom lane. If we look at that net worth chart, Weaver pretty high. He's at 4.4k. The highest right now is Bounty Hunter at 5.2k. But Weaver, ZXE, he's been pretty quiet down here. He did manage to push that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane while all that action was going about. He does have Power Treads, Ring of Aquila, a Magic Wand, as well as a Ring of Health, and another 700 in the bank, so probably going to be going for that early Perseverance. And now on the Dire side, no big items have been picked up. They've all been getting taken out here. Loda going to have the best of them, and that will just be Boots of Speed, a Hand of Midas, and Blades of Attack right now to go with that Stout Shield and the Quelling Blade. Only 600 gold in the bank. He does have Grievel's Greed up, but Pardon me, he does have it up to level 3, does not have Hand of Midas up, so he just used it before we moved into this pause. Right now, Loda actually going to be disconnected for a little while, and this is a recurring theme here for Alliance. Makes you wonder a little bit, is there something in the Dota gods where we saw that Alliance versus Quantic game where Alliance were up against the ropes? Not going to say that they were clearly going to lose, but it was a close game at the 50-minute mark, couldn't reconnect, they had to remake it, and now they're just going to rehost it on Sunday. So, this could be another one of those situations, maybe. I don't want to say that, because hopefully Loda can just hop back in here, but it is 4-11 at the 11-minute mark. Alliance already in big trouble, and again, glancing at these graphs, they're trailing by about 4,000 gold, now about 5.5k experience, so Power Rangers are off to one hell of a great start, and it's not as if they have a totally early game oriented team right now. I mean, they certainly do have mid-game potential, but they've got a Weaver, a Chaos Knight, and a Bounty Hunter, 3 carries. All of them need a lot of farm to shine, so being off to a great start here means it's just going to get better for Power Rangers as this continues to happen here. Alliance, they need to do something. This Bat Rider really needs to start having a driving force. They've got individually strong heroes, but so far Alliance, they haven't been able to get their shit together. Really, they have these heroes that, although very powerful and can have huge impacts on the game, they need that little bit of momentum to get going, and Power Rangers have just been on the aggressive since this game began. And let's take a look at some examples here. Bat Rider, he's level 7. All he has are Tranquil Boots and a Magic Wand, as well as a Dust of Appearance right now. 1.2k in the bag, trying to pull up his gold for that valuable Blink Dagger, but until he gets it, Admiral Bulldog not going to be too aggressive in this game. Abaddon, he is a higher level now. He's one of those lower supports, still doesn't have much to his name. Loda, another great example here. He's got Hand of Midas. He needs a little bit of time for that economic investment to pay off. Those early points in Grievel's Greed don't give him anything here when they're trying to team fight. I mean, he has been forced to fight at least 4 times here. He is 0-3-1, so that early Hand of Midas as well as the early Grievel's Greed, they don't do anything for him. I mean, they're great economic investments. They're going to help him farm, but they're not going to bring anything to the table when they team fight right now. And there it is. Loda going to be able to reconnect, so going to wipe our brows off there. More evidence. Chen, he's still level 5. We're at the 11-minute mark. Chen needs to be level 6. They need Hand of God in these team fights. That 200 heal on everyone, that's 1,000 healing that can come out in these team fights. That is so significant this early on in the match. So Chen, again, another hero that needs a little bit of momentum to get going, at least needs that early experience to hit that level 6 barrier. Timbersaw, another great example. We see him snowball most often, and that's really where he shines. If he can get that early Bloodstone, get an early Orchid, get an early Rod of Atos, any one of those early core items can be so great and allow him to be so much more aggressive. But here, S4 not going to have any items. He's got Arcane Boots, he's got a bottle, and that's it. Stout Shield, GG Branch, and a Tango to spare. And that's all he has, as we are going to resume here at the 11-minute mark between Power Rangers and Alliance here on day 20 of Starladder Season 7. Thank you so much for joining us here on Dota Radio and being patient through that pause. Again, the KDA chart looking very scary in favor of Power Rangers. It is 11-4. Chaos Knight right now 4-1-2 as everyone goes back to farming their respective lanes. So many track kills have come out here for Power Rangers as well. One of the other driving forces and the outliers, of course, is just how much better Bounty Hunter has been than Bat Rider so far. His farm has just been out of control. You usually wouldn't expect the solo hero to win. A pseudo tri-lane there. Of course, it wasn't a true tri-lane with Chen in the jungle, but Chen, Abaddon, and the Alchemist. That's a lot of support that you should be able to throw that Alchemist way. And, your Bounty Hunter should really never have such a good time in the off lane. Down here in the bottom, though, ZXZ is going to be level 9 on the Weaver. I thought they may try and find a way to engage on him. He's going to push up near that tier 2 tower. We do see EGM on Abaddon in the trees, but in the dire jungle right now, Loda going to get caught. Oh, this is so bad. He's going to get bumped into by the Bounty Hunter there. He's now level 11. It is open hunting season with that track, and Wisp's going to bring his good buddy Chaos Knight in. They will teleport on top of him, and he's going to fall. Looks like they might have S4 in their sights now. The level 8 Timber Song going to be able to Timber Chain away as they do rotate through the mid lane with Tether on, as well as all of those Wisp spirits. So Chaos Knight now level 10. He does have the Drum of Endurance complete. He is going to have it in the bank, going to grab it on the courier momentarily. So that first kind of core item coming out here for the Chaos Knight, and I'm sure he'll be moving into, I want to say an armlet. That's going to be my guess, a nice aggressive mid-game item that'll really help him out here in this bit of aggression they have going on. But we'll see. A lot of options for the Chaos Knight, and he actually is going to have, he's going to finish the Power Tread, still going to need one more piece for the Drum of Endurance, pardon me. Still needs that Robe of the Magi. He does have the recipe, and the Bracer complete. In the top lane here, we see Bounty Hunter just continuing to stay so aggressive. Cheshire Cat, he's going to catch Ake in the jungle. Ake still level 5. Wisp again going to bring in the Chaos Knight. This combo is working so well. They're using Bounty Hunter to scout out the dire jungle. We're going to hold that thought. Is now Loda going to get caught. Reality Rift Tether combo. S4 going to come in. It's going to be a 2-for-0 to start things off. Now Admiral Bulldog going to be here. He is going to use a smoke. They're going to make it a 3-for-0. They're going to finish off the Timber Saw. Admiral Bulldog trying to do what he can. He is going to throw down some fire, but not going to be able to have enough damage for a kill. Now EGM going to be coming in on the Abaddon. He is level level 8, does have his ultimate up, going to use an aphotic shield to absorb a bit of damage. Chen's still going to have a couple creeps here as well, going to try and poke at ZXC, going to throw an ensnare on the Weaver as he moves into the tower. Now it looks like they're going to dive this tier 1 tower in the top lane. EGM going to be in a little bit of trouble, going to use another aphotic shield. Admiral Bulldog, he's just hiding in the trees right now. 1.8k gold, really doesn't want to die here, still doesn't have the blink. Overgrowth going to come out. EGM going to use his borrowed time there. Admiral Bulldog now going to pop out of the trees as Loda is back. He's going to pour it in. They're going to drop a stun on Cheshire Cat. He's going to fall. Bat Rider going to be able to finish him off with a lasso Firefly combo into the tower. That's going to end the dominating streak for the Bounty Hunter and give Bat Rider a much warranted 500 gold bounty. So that will be his blink dagger right there. Going to be able to pick it up right away. That's great news for Alliance, so they are still trailing 5-15. That was all in all a 1-for-3 exchange. Still not what they were looking for, but it's hard to look at the positives there. Yeah, they killed the Bounty Hunter, but they picked up 3 track kills before the Bounty Hunter went down. That is just, cost ineffective exchange doesn't even begin to tell the story. In the mid lane here, the aggression doesn't stop. S4 just going to be farming. He's going to get caught. Moon going to hop forward. Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt combo, the Tether Stun, and that's all she wrote. S4 just not that tanky force. Still has not been able to pick up any items since we last spoke. Now Wisp going to continue the pressure. They're going to port top with the Tether on. They're going to try to engage on Loda. Loda going to make it up to the tier 1 tower, port in from Admiral Bulldog, and they are going to be able to disengage. So that will keep someone alive, but they're just going to be able to go right back to the mid lane. Oh god, this farming is so efficient for Moon right now. Chaos Knight with a taxi service means Chaos Knight gets all that extra farm. He doesn't have to waste time running between lanes to kill creeps. Now we're going to see Power Rangers group up in the mid. They will finish off that tier 1 tower, so that's going to take the total tower count now 2-1 in favor of our Radiant side. Power Rangers, their lead continues to grow here. S4 going to port into the tier 2 tower. He's going to get engaged on. We'll be able to Timber Chain away. Gold difference now something about 10,000 gold in favor of Power Rangers. Experience difference comparable, 10,000 as well. S4 going to push up way too far. What are you thinking, buddy? That's just straight feeding. I don't know what he was doing right there. Going to get re-engaged on. Now Abaddon going to be in some trouble. He's going to get engaged on as well. Going to be able to use the borrowed time. They're going to disengage. Looks like he's going to have enough for another Chaos Bolt Reality Rift combo. EGM going to be in trouble. Gets caught by the Tether. EO going to be able to grab that kill. That's actually going to be a double kill coming out for Wisp. Looks like Bounty Hunter will get caught in the jungle. A sentry did come down. Ake as well as Admiral Bulldog able to pick him off, so it is a nice recovery kill, but it did cost him 2 in the mid lane. That's going to make it 18-6 here at the 16-minute mark. Team Power Rangers continuing to dominate. Admiral Bulldog, he's in the trees here. He is going to blink backwards, going to try and heal up with the Arcane Boots. Wisp going to be able to catch him with the Spirits. He's going to fall. Now Ake going to get caught. Ake going to fall as well. That's going to make it 20-6 as Alliance gets cleaned up. Power Rangers just continuing to add kills to the board. This Wisp CK combo seems unstoppable right now. They've got a farmed Weaver to boot. Things are so bad for Alliance. That gold graph now jumping up over 10,000 gold, 10,000 experience as well. We're going to move into another pause here. It looks like it could be a strap pause coming out for Alliance, and folks, they need it. They are in big trouble right now. Chaos Knight level 12. He has the drum. He has the armlet complete in the bank. The courier going to be bringing it to him very shortly here. Bounty Hunter now going to be able to pick up a Vlad's offering and his first Mithril Hammer. EO still now going to have power treads to go with that Urn of the Shadows, and Weaver going to be working towards that Lincoln's, of course. He does have an ultimate orb to go with that Ring of Health, Ring of Aquila, and power treads. On the dire side, Loda still has not made any big item pickups. He's got the Midas, he's got Phase Boots now, he's got 2.2k gold in the bank. What's he gonna get? It's gotta be a Shadow Blade. That's the only thing I can think of to try and give him a little bit of an edge here, but Loda's still so far behind. Of course, we did say Bat Rider now has his blink, but it's so late. Part of the thing about Bat Rider that makes him so powerful is if he can get that early blink, he can pick up those early kills and snowball out of control. He can stay levels ahead, stay with that farm advantage, and shut people down. Here, he got that blink so late that, yeah, that's great. It's still going to give them power in team fights. It's still not going to be that same scary Bat Rider that we're used to seeing. In the bottom lane, Loda going to be pushed up too far. He was going to pressure that tier 1 tower in the bottom. He's going to get engaged on. Some supports come down. EO actually going to bring the Tramp Protector with him, and they're going to gangbang him in the jungle. Loda going to fall. Bounty Hunter going to be able to grab another kill. Now EO going to bring the tree back to the top lane. They're going to be able to pick up a Haste Rune at the top spawn, and it looks like they may be able to head back down bottom. That's now 21-6 here at the 17-minute mark. I don't know what Alliance can do at this point. I still don't know what happened in the jungle. They needed to have a better time in that tri-lane. Timbersaw needed to play more defensively. If S4 had grabbed that early Timber Chain and if they had been able to shut down that Bounty Hunter, this would be a totally different game. But now things are just out of control. The Belarus champions may be able to do it, but they're going to get engaged on here. Admiral Bulldog going to engage with the lasso, and no follow-up damage going to come. Now Cheshire Cat going to go in. They're going to engage on Abaddon. Right now we're fighting right behind the Dire Ancients, now near that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Abaddon going to get caught. Borrowed time going to be down. He's going to fall to the Reality Rift Chaos Bolt combo. Now Wisp and CK gonna dive forward. S4 gonna get caught by Reality Rift. It counters that Timber Chain so well. He gets Timber Chain, he gets pulled right back, and down he goes. That's gonna make it a 2-0. Now Power Rangers continuing to press forward. They're gonna take out this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Alliance gonna have no choice but to watch it fall. Nothing they can do. They do have a glyph up, not gonna use it. And now Power Rangers just gonna further their gold lead here. It's now at 14,000 gold, 14,000 experience. I'm sure items to compare. Things are still looking so scary. Loda gonna be able to grab a Shadow Amulet, gonna be working towards that Shadow Blade, but still nothing changing in the inventories of Alliance as the inventories of Power Rangers continue to grow. Now Power Rangers gonna press forward. They're gonna take out the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. The rack's gonna be exposed. Glyph's still available for Alliance. They're gonna have to contest this. They don't want to surrender the racks too soon here. Sorry about that. The glyph gonna be used. They are gonna try to engage. A Chakram gonna go in. Ensnare gonna be used on Chaos Knight. They're gonna send in the Centaur now. Gonna try and catch a stun. Reality Rift now gonna be used on the Admiral Bulldog. Moon taking a lot of damage. They're gonna be forced out. Where's the Overgrowth? It's not coming out yet. The Treant trying to do what he can, spamming the living armor. There's the Overgrowth. Still no one going down in this team fight. Alliance looking like they might be in trouble here. Uh-oh, Bounty Hunter and Tree gonna fall to a nice whirling death from S4. Looks like Alliance gonna be able to hold here. Now they're gonna press forward. Alliance and Emerald Bulldog gonna hop forward. Are they gonna be able to do something here? Both Moon as well as the Wisp's gonna be in trouble. S4 gonna go forward. A big Timber Chain. A Whirling Death. It's not gonna be enough. Wisp survives. They turn it around and he falls. Cheng gonna get cleaned up as well. ZXC on the Weaver. He's still alive and he's still doing damage. He's working towards that Lincoln's. He's got the Perseverance and the Ultimate Orb. Gonna be able to afford the recipe following that team fight. And it will end there at a 2-for-2. 25-8. Alliance kind of holds. They do lose their melee racks. Ranged racks still alive, but it's gonna be an easy push for Power Rangers here coming up in the few moments that they will want to do it. In the upcoming moments, Jesus. Oh, talk about an action-packed game, folks. We have had 32 kills here in 19 minutes, so it has been non-stop action. Power Rangers not stopping for a second. This Chaos Knight Wisp combo have been all over the place since they turned level 6, and there is no reason for them to slow down. Chaos Knight now 9-1-8, Wisp 8-2-13. They have been a part of so many of the kills on the map here. Wisp has been involved in, let's see here, 21 of the 25 kills that have taken place so far in this match, and this match just a great example of why Wisp is first pick, first ban worthy material. Just so much influence over this game thus far. Now Wisp going to be able to bottle up an invisibility rune, going to be able to grab a mech as well. Bounty Hunter now going to have a BKB to go with that Vlad's offering. We talked about the Medallion of Courage and Treant's inventory, and Weaver now going to be able to grab that Lincoln Sphere as well as a Gem of True Sight. Now Power Rangers, they're going to move into the Roche Pit. They're going to start chipping away at him. Pardon me, Chakram going to come in. Gonna try and harass him back a little bit here. Roche going down very quickly, down below half health now. The Medallion helping quite a bit. Bat Rider gonna blink in, gonna use the lasso on Moon. He's gonna get pulled up to the high ground, gonna be stuck on the fire. He is tethered right now, nowhere to go. Moon gonna be in big trouble. He may fall. Wisp gonna use the ultimate. He's gonna relocate him down to inside the Roche Pit. Now Roche gonna fall. Weaver gonna be able to grab the Aegis. Emerald Bulldog gonna walk into the pit. He's gonna get obliterated. That's gonna make it a 1-0 here. And now S4, he's gonna Timber Chain across the pit. Another relocate gonna be used inside the pit. Loda now taking a lot of damage. Reality Rift, Chaos Boat, Loda falls. Now S4 gonna run into Whirling Death gonna happen, but it's not gonna be enough. He's gonna fall as well. Abaddon, the only left alive. Power Rangers gonna have a 5-for-4 exchange. Make that a 5-0. He commits suicide, but nonetheless, every single member of Alliance down. Power Rangers have all 5 alive. Are there buybacks? Not enough. It's gonna be GG. Power Rangers gonna do it. 30-8 in 21 minutes of gameplay. Power Rangers will indeed take out the undefeated team since TI3. Alliance, I can't believe it. It is the upset of the series so far in Starladder Season 7. The team from Belarus, they started 0-2 in Starladder Season 7. Everyone brushed them aside as if they weren't going to be able to make it, and then they turned it around, and they are now going to go, is it 7-2 total? They've won all next of their games after going 0-2. I'm looking at them on the list here. They're going to be 7-2 now. That's going to take Alliance to 6-1. Oh my gosh. Keep an eye out for Power Rangers in the upcoming matches, folks. They are a force to be reckoned with. The first team to dethrone Alliance since TI3. Absolutely incredible matchup.